Hi and welcome. Today we're going to go over the Generac IX2000. I'm Mark Waters, or Captain H2O. One of the little fixes I'm going to give you is a fix that I use on most of my small engines, whether it's a K12, a chainsaw for the fire department. In this case, I bought this little small generator for the storms down here in South Florida. It's my go-to generator for the little stuff, like during a storm or that, if I needed power for a little bit. This tiny generator gives me this little room and contents kind of ability to be able to run. I have a lot bigger generator to run the house after that. But this one I bought on a special, and it found out later on when I didn't start it after a while, it's a little pain in the ass to start sometimes. So you have to start it every 2-3 weeks, otherwise the little jets in there, even if you put a little stabilizer in there, they tend to clog up really easy on this one. So I'm going to show you a little fix for it. You're going to need the toolkit that comes with it, or if not, there's standard size wrenches in that will take the air filter off and give you access to the other side. So stay tuned, here we go. Here's our little close-up of the side of this Generac 2000. Phillips screwdriver will work on this to take it off. The one that comes with the kit, I tend to prefer just the regular flat head screw for this. Now inside you see the small nuts here. This tool that comes with it is good, or it should be a 10 millimeter on a regular socket set. So we're just going to take these two nuts off, and then I'll talk about how hard it is to pop this off. First time I didn't think it came off, and then I later realized it does come off. This is the only area you're going to need to access. You really don't need to go over here. You can also see in your fuel bulb here, this will give you, it's pretty clear. You're able to see how your fuel looks, and right now it looks fine. And also your oil check down here. Please constantly stay on top. The smaller the engine, the more it's going to eat through your oil. So just something for you to keep in mind on that. As we said before, when it does start, we want to take off this, which is your filter, air filter. This is provided in the kit, along with these three other tools. Okay. Usually these are going to be tight on there. There is a washer behind here. You have two washers here, and it is kind of a little bit of a pain in the ass to get off. Alright, now to pop this off, it seems like it's on there really tight. You just have to you're popping those two little black plugs out of there. And there's your carb. Just sits in there and floats in there almost. Gasket, it's on there. And I usually just take a little bit of carb cleaner and just spray it up in there. And it usually does a trick. Pull the handle a couple times, pull it up in there, hit it again, and it'll pull it up in there, and then put it back together, and we should start up right away. It'll give me a little bit of hesitation, but like I said, if that doesn't work, then we're going to take the spark plug off, which is located in this back compartment here, and take the spark plug out, throw a little carb cleaner in there, clean up the spark plug, and we should be good to go. So those are three things that I see that helps with this particular small generator. Again, the jets are so small, they're very easy for it to clog up. Even if you put a fuel stabilizer in there, it's no guarantee that it's gonna start for you if you let it sit for any length of time. So let's put it back together. Again, this two line up here those two little plugs down on the bottom. Just pop it in. It's going to sit. There's a spring on the top here and there on the bottom. Make sure you put your washers in. Choke. It starts up every time after you do that. So the other thing we talked about on this was the spark plug. Sits in there. The other tool they got with it. We're going to pull it out. Now you can see how much carb. This is pretty black and it doesn't have that many hours on it. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just take a little piece of sandpaper, sand it up a little bit, get a little bit of the carb off, throw a spray down here. Especially if you flooded this out trying to get it started, believe it or not, WD-40. Throw a little spray in the WD-40 down the spark plug hole. Same thing for like K12s or chainsaws of that. Not a bunch, but just a little bit. And it'll help you get it turned over. So just another tidbit on this. Like I said, most of the time it's going to be the carb and the fact that the jets are really small. The reason why it won't turn over. It's probably gummed up. It doesn't take much for it to gum up. So. Okay, starting up this generator, pretty easy. Give it a couple pumps. Turn the choke on, turn your fuel on. This is off, fuel's on, and then nice straight pulls on this. This one does have a definite recoil on it, so if it's not starting, you are gonna run the risk of getting some nice blisters here. And this is why I'm making this video is I've come into it multiple times now where it's not been able to start, and I've had to go in and do my little fix that we're going to see in a minute. But most of the time, now that we have it fixed and all that, this thing starts up right away.